Ba-ba-ba-bum. Hello, this is DevKami number 81, and I'm swimming. I
Chilo.
know
I am
this time it's my
Tristan.
turns. And Chi Leong, of course, he's
Yeah.
already said that just now. And we don't have a topic because we are surprised. Actually, that's part lie. The real truth is we have no idea what to talk about. But let's go to our news. So, what's interesting for the past 1 week?
I have no idea. I'm gonna cheat with the last
Well,
corners.
I thought
so
we're
it
doing
turns out
meetups
that
first.
we have.
No?
Oh, we're doing meetup first. Oh, we always do meetups first. Yes, we always do meetup first. What on earth are we doing? Because usually meetups is empty during the MCO. Chances
But
is we
there
won't
are a
have
few
physical
things
meetups
happening,
until
right?
next.
Until next
Yeah,
year.
we do have things happening because. Okay, so we won't have physical meetups until next year. So, but we do have a lot more virtual meetups happening now.
Yep.
So on May 21st, that would be the next Thursday. We have a Data Council virtual meetup. You can go to meetup.com and subscribe to it. You will
Yeah.
get the links and all that. So after that is
After that, you can join DevKami after Data Council.
yep, and we don't
So
actually have
I
anything
thought there
else
was
that week.
on meetups there was the what do you call this?
Oh
DevOps. Oh
yeah.
no, it's the DevOps on the 27th, so they're still planning it.
And then this Saturday, there's gonna
Yes.
be UM App Club, which is scheduled on StreamYard as well.
Yep.
So UM App Club exploration of Azure machine. So on
Yay.
Saturday.
Disclaimer. Yep.
Oh no, it's not gonna be next
So
week.
disclaimer, I stuck there for 4 years.
It's gonna be next
Oh,
Saturday,
okay.
not this. Horrible.
Yep. But join them if you got time. Also, big disclaimer, I stuck in UM for 4 years. I don't have a choice. It's either that or I waste my PTPTN money.
What did you make out of it?
You mean in school?
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing about academia is it's a very unpopular opinion. Is that you don't go there to learn skill. You go there to use the free time to actually learn skill outside of your class. Because that's the only time where I actually learn things like FreeBSD, Linux, writing decision tree from scratch because you're that bored.
The usual swimming, bragging.
Yeah, but the thing is, the university library had some underutilized resource that people do not think important because it's not an exam.
So are you planning to
Minix
go back
book
to?
by
Are you
Andrew
planning
Tannenbaum.
Are you planning to go back to your alma mater to give a talk or something, enlighten the young?
Maybe, but I already brag every day on DevKami, so that's that. I have to turn off my cam because I think the network is getting a bit nuts. Yeah. So university, underutilized resource. They actually have a Minix book that is actually learned by Linus Torvald. Underutilized, nobody read it.
I thought we were supposed
So
to cover.
I actually read.
I thought we were supposed to cover Bus Corner first.
Yeah. So either way, we're going to do meetup first. So
I think that's about it.
We only have one. Yeah, it's about the event.
I remember Vimo Oko is pretty active recently, so I think they are doing something. Just check them out on. I'm horrible.
They're on Facebook and they have a Slack channel as well. www.codekl.slack.com. I think they're having a Flutter study group again this Sunday at 10 a.m.
And
Cool.
it's Saturday. Then at 9 p.m. there's a talk about making the transition from non-tech to tech. So there are.
Honestly, I need the other way around. Yes, they are more active than DevKami, believe it or not.
Yeah, very active.
Yeah, very enthusiastic, which is actually a good thing. So, any other event that I actually miss?
I have no idea.
I
Is
think
there
that's
anything
it
going on?
for.
I think that's
Is there anything going on for Python?
should
There's
I
the
do
Pi
something
Data
about
KL,
Python?
right? Pi Data KL
That is on
on
27.
27th. Yeah, next week. So
Yeah,
we'll
it's on
shout them out again
27.
next week.
Yeah. I do not know who, I may know the person that do it, but I'm not the one that doing it.
Mm.
I know the person on Twitter. They met in Meetup, but they're also on Twitter. Don't know what's your plan yet. I'm kind of been procrastinating about the Python user group for a long time. And I'm, believe it or not, I spend more time on the user group getting rid of snake seller, actual snake seller, than actually planning a meetup.
From time to time, actually, some of these exotic pets owner will come up to the Python user group to ask for tips on how to keep their exotic pets.
Yes. So they actually ask for supplies and all that. Unfortunately, because you guys are so mean, I have to kick them out immediately.
To protect them.
Yes, because you guys are mean. I'm so
Well,
sorry. You
maybe
guys are.
maybe because the the Facebook groups who actually cater to these things are being banned by Facebook, but they realize that the programming language groups are not being banned. So it could be that many
Uh,
groups
it's
pretending to be programming language but are actually about taking care of Pythons, and they just
it's
couldn't.
more likely. It's more likely that Facebook system is smart enough to know a programming language group and a exotic pet group, and as a result, there's a confusion along the way as most are being closed down. But that being said, exotic pets in Malaysia are not illegal. You can keep snake, and it's not against Facebook policy. I believe. As long
Mhm.
you are not keeping things like sun bears and all that, because iguana is exotic pet technically, but those are actually generally acceptable. So it's things like hedgehogs and whatnot.
Yeah, apparently hamsters are exotic pets. When I bring my hamster to the vet, it's under
Yes,
the exotic headline. So I didn't know they're exotic.
yeah,
Guinea pig is under exotic as well.
Mm.
Most of the
yes.
rodents are exotic.
Mm.
Pepper is
Yeah, now we can go
exotic.
for Buzz Corner. I think we have a lot
Yeah,
of
so let's talk
Buzz
about news.
Corners happening.
So
Yes.
what's
So too interesting for me is Flutter new release and Golang new release.
yeah, nothing much going on with Golang actually. It's mainly
Uh,
underneath what changes underneath.
yep.
Latest version of TypeScript, React Native for Windows
So
and
will
Mac.
anybody know what happened on Flutter?
No,
Uh,
what's up with
Oh
Flutter?
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, it's not Flutter, it's TypeScript. I'm so sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
TypeScript.
I was wondering what's new with Flutter. Did he do
Oh,
something?
I read Flutter. It's actually TypeScript.
Yeah. So
Uh,
the React Native for Windows and Mac might be interesting because now you get to unify platforms. Uh, you
Yeah,
have web,
it's
you
TypeScript.
have
Why the hell think Flutter?
mobile,
Oh my
and
goodness.
then you have well because probably because Flutter is also trying to unify
yeah,
those
yeah, they're doing
platforms.
the
You have
same
the web,
thing,
mobile,
and
and
also
desktop.
for those that use
Then you also have Visual Studio Live Share.
yeah
No, sorry,
live
Chilio, you
share.
were saying something about unifying.
No, I'm talking about like for those that use Adobe XD to do wireframing.
Mm-hmm.
It supports Flutter now.
Mm,
So
maybe
yeah,
that's the thing. Mm-hmm. LiveShare has been there for like some time since
yeah.
last year. I
But
was actually using it like when I was still like mentoring. I think I remember some doing something like that, or some maybe probably doing pairing like when it was still in preview release. So
yeah,
LiveShare has been around, and I'm not sure. Oh, swimming dropped out, and I'm not sure what the news is with live share.
The latest live share is not they expanded beyond the applications. So now you can the link when you open it with a browser, and you can just do live coding together on the browser
Hmm.
without a VS
Oh,
Code.
that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah, that would be very well. I guess like who's hosting the file system?
I think the Microsoft is the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
So some sort of like you know like uh N group, probably they are the one that the
Mm-hmm.
centralized persons, like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
centralized source of truth or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
I see.
remember like I tried out the beta version of live share last time. It has the issue of if I, let's say, like both of the people copy and paste something, it gonna be like going in infinitely. So it
Oh.
has the like the like what do you call it, the issue with consensus. Like you cannot reach a consensus.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot
Mm-hmm.
determine which one is the priority. So it became like
Mm-hmm.
it became a circular trigger. So
Mm-hmm.
oh no, of course, swimming just messages. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you hi swimming.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can't hear what we are saying now. I don't understand what he's saying.
yeah. I think we're probably related to his network.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
The
the
MTL
network
should be
bad today.
here now. Oh, there you
Uh,
go. You're
I
you
can
back.
hear what you're saying now.
somebody is
Mhm.
torrenting at home again, and we
Yeah,
talk
I
about
have
React
network
Native
issue.
unifying. Basically, they are the competitor to Flutter, I can say, because they
Mhm.
both of them are
So
trying to do the same thing.
Flutter is trying to do desktop and mobile right now, and I think they still have to go to web.
Yeah.
Well, whereas React is covering web and kind of covering mobile with React Native, and is now trying to get into desktop. The usual way of getting to desktop via JavaScript is through Electron, but it can be a bit like large. Like the payload is quite huge because you have to get the whole Electron application package together and a browser and all of these things. But if you can directly use the system widgets, the OS widgets, then that will be a lot like smaller because you can basically reuse the libraries. I am guessing the reason why they don't do Linux is because there are so many widget systems that you can't actually say React Native for Linux. You have to say React Native for GTK or React Native for LiveQT or something like that.
Yep.
Because or like to React Native with WX widgets, and then most likely you have to ship that either you bind to the system libraries or you have to ship those libraries that are confirmed and guaranteed to work with React Native. And I guess there's a lot of work to be done there. And I guess they just said, no, we're not going to do it. We're just going to focus on the ones that are quite stable, Windows and Mac.
And this is actually championed by Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
instead of React is a product of Facebook, but it's right now the desktop version support is championed by Microsoft. So,
Well, I'm guessing this is because they knew that apps are the way forward. Because as a platform, Windows is actually stagnating. Not a lot of people are developing applications for Windows. They're developing web applications, so the platform is the website, and so they don't
Mhm.
necessarily require Windows anymore. Um, a lot of people are developing applications for Android or iOS, so nothing for Windows. And I guess what they're doing is, if they're saying it's so easy to create to recreate your application in Android or iOS also for Windows, then it's going to be easier to port your applications, and then you'll have like a larger amount of applications in your operating system. So
Mhm.
let's see where this takes them.
So what else? TypeScript 3.9.
Mhm.
Didn't read the release note. Not much of a major changes. Mainly on I don't know. Have to go and read it. It's not a feature release. I think regularly they can release something that fix bugs and improvement on certain things. But this is not a feature release. Same goes with the upcoming Golang release. It's not really a feature release as well. It's more like the improvement on the underneath the compiler, the linker, everything, and performance, and reduce the binary size. Not really interesting, but these are the important boring work that should be done. So what else? And talk about TypeScript. There's Dino, the what call it, the cousin of Node.js, is just
It
reached
was made
1.0.
by the guy who first started Node.js, right?
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah,
Ryan Dahl.
yeah.
And he said he regrets making Node because of how it turned out, and so he started a new project, knowing what could go wrong, and then making sure that it doesn't go wrong with the new project. Do we
You
have
know
a
those
summary
things.
of the
I
differences?
think the way go forward is to have a community at least, or like a steering
Yes.
committee.
Hmm.
Yes.
Not necessarily have to be a
So
really like decentralized or like really community, but at least somebody to
yeah,
steer the direction of it.
correct. So you need to look right. You know how many languages actually do big changes? I gave you a few O1, C++. C had a few. C don't change that much, but they do have some change. C literally changed the whole language with generics and all that language breaking features. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you can rewrite the runtime. Chances is the compiler communities already have multiple version of compilers. They
The
start
good thing about
compatible
that
at the
is
end.
it's a new runtime, so it still
Yeah.
runs
Yeah.
TypeScript and JavaScript. So, but at least they
But
Yes.
do.
So
it, it's a TypeScript runtime, so that's the thing.
Yeah,
It runs TypeScript without like transpiling into JavaScript.
that's so in a way, lah, but I don't know how it really works. Have to go and read about it.
yeah, we had to actually test it out and whatnot.
Yeah,
I generally
I'm
have problem with people rewriting runtime, but if it's compatible, yeah, go ahead. It's not that big of a that bad of a problem. It might even make things better, but who knows, right?
yeah. Why
I
not?
just think that a lot of this should not be just a matter of let's rewrite something because it's because uh, software need maintenance, not rewrites.
Hmm.
So that's my little problem lah.
Well, the problem with that is if whoever's the steward of the project does not allow certain ideas, then you have no choice but to rewrite, right? Like for example, Node
Uh,
is very much tied with npm, and one of the features of
yes,
Dino is importing via URLs, which means uh, you don't need a centralized platform like npm to import modules. You can import from any
yes.
URL that you want, but apparently, like Node is not like npm is one of the biggest like things for Node.
Uh, all I'm saying that all I am saying is that sometimes you do not need a, too big of a change. Sometimes maybe when everybody decided that okay, maybe the whole npm dependency is a bad idea. Let's move out and do all that. Both way can happen, right? But yes, you can experiment, but look at the whole family of C language. You have C, then because you want objects, you got C++. Then you have C, not C sharp, C. Objective-C because they want small talk style inheritance, small talk style message passing, right? Object orientation. Then you got 3 versions of C out. There's already, from all that, Microsoft had an idea of a C-like language. It's more of C++ and C-like called C#. So you got a whole
It's more
family
like
of
a
C
Java-like
language because
language.
a different idea. Yeah, then suddenly from C++, people think like pointer is horrible, it's dangerous, let's do it in Java, right? So my point is, okay, it's not a bad thing, but history also shows that
It's necessary, but
it can get into a mess as well.
yeah, but I think
It's not a bad thing, but
it's in a way
Okay.
like that's how we progress.
Mhm.
yeah, true.
Sway Meng,
So I
if
like
you
that.
don't have a video, how are you going to show us your new toy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a new toy. It's a 3-year-old toy. I can turn it on when I need to show it.
I guess we can show it now. Let's kick it off with your toy.
Yeah. I'm gonna focus
So-
on swimmings.
What is
Yeah.
that?
So,
Can you?
this
Can you?
is very interesting.
Yeah. Can
So,
put it in front.
so it's
What is
actually
that?
powered by Raspberry Pi 0W. I bought this for 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago. So what brought us into this? Turns out that for recently, as in for the past few weeks, a few of the community members have been fanboying about e-ink technology
Who? Can you name
because Donaldson is one. I am one.
names?
Then Tristan here also bought an ebook reader because it's a trend lah. Because I've been
MCO.
sharing things like
Because MCO
Okay,
and I've been
true.
reading
And
about
also I've
that with
been-
my old Paperwhite, and it's so slow, and so I wanted to get the new ebook reader. And because the iPad just like
Does yours come
one
with?
day it's gone.
Does yours come with a stylus?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main point.
I can
of,
show it after
these days.
swimming's thing,
yeah.
like talking about e-ink.
So because we've been me and a few of me and Donaldson have been fanboying about e-ink technology. I still believe that e-ink is getting very interesting this year. Colored e-ink ebook reader are beginning to be commercialized. Currently, only China have it. Then there is one producer making one for Europe market. So it's being commercialized. It's within a range of a tablet, price of a tablet. So it's 1,000 to 2,000 ringgit. In fact, the Chinese one is around 1,000 plus ringgit. Very interesting. I will share the link later. So the price is comparable to your ebook reader. Your ebook reader have tendency to be a little bit cheaper, like 900 or so. It might be cheaper for the Americans, but then those American prices will bring over to a gray market like Malaysia, where we don't officially have support. It works, but you don't officially get the support. You get jack up a little, so you get somewhat the same price. So e-ink is getting very interesting. That's my story. And turns out that I've been playing around with e-ink technology for a while.
It's
So, for
getting-
example, this one is actually
It's
Yes.
getting much more cheaper.
yes,
Says-
with the color out, the black and white would be cheaper. To show you how cheap is this, I'm going to show you this thing. This is the size of my thumb, all right? This thing is about the size of my thumb. And there is actually a company that produce labels for supermarket. They're using e-ink technology. So it's on trial, but it's cheap enough to be on trial. So things are getting very interesting when it comes to e-ink technology, right? So I play with my first exposure to e-ink as a technology, not as a consumer product, is actually on this the Inky Fat. Fat is a PHAT. This is a Raspberry. What's Fat stand for again? Do you remember? It's
I'm not
an
sure, I
extension
forgot.
port. There's a term for it, but this is an extension for the Raspberry Pi Zero. It can run on the Raspberry Pi, but I have a Raspberry Pi Zero, and this is Inky Fat. This thing here runs on e-ink. Right? Runs on e-ink. Meaning, let's say I turn it off right now. In fact, I'm going to turn it off right now. Ooh, the label still on, right? So e-ink is there for a while. It's been promised a digital paper-like display for a long time. One of the most famous one is actually a Kindle. A Kindle is one of those things. What e-ink technology promised us is a few things. One, power saving, because they only need to refresh on. They only need to power on refresh. So as long as you don't flip your page
There's no,
like
unlike
crazy, you generally
unlike
can
a
save a lot of
tablet or
power.
your phone or any LCD, it doesn't refresh.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a. I mean, it doesn't do the.
Yeah, correct.
It only uses power if you want to change
Yes.
what's
Yeah.
on the screen.
And
If
it
you
becomes
take
static.
off power, then it's like
Correct.
it's there. It's like your
Precisely
Etch a
like this.
Sketch, right?
Yeah, it's there. It's not refreshing. Correct. I think it is a very advanced form of Etch a Sketch, because what happened is they actually are using static electricity to manipulate the particle.
But
And hold it there.
Uncle Swee Meng, what is an Etch a Sketch?
Oh, damn it! So Etch a Sketch is we should show pictures. In fact, we'll find pictures later. Do you want to find it now? Man,
What's an
Let's
Etch
see.
a Sketch? I don't know what's a computer.
Okay, let me find it. Etch a Sketch is very interesting, but the technology is still the same. But Etch a Sketch doesn't use electricity. They actually use static electricity. So I try to find a very good one that is
It
short.
doesn't use like the one with like batteries, but it
No,
does.
they don't.
It's basically
So
the
what they
same
do-
idea. So pigment is stuck
Correct.
to the top, and then if it falls down or whatever, like it's rearranged through electricity.
Yes,
Etch
correct.
a Sketch.
I'm sharing a link. I'm sharing a link now. It's actually a tribute to creator of Etch a Sketch. I'll maybe share out later. Now, so the thing about e-ink, why e-ink had been limited in usage is it's still very expensive. Until recently, it's been very expensive. And the only thing that actually working is on ebook readers. And here's the interesting thing about the whole ebook reader market. So the Amazon, I got very good example right here. On Amazon, in the US, an ebook reader is actually subsidized by the company, right? How it's subsidized is that the whole idea is that you get a cheap-ish ebook reader, $100 plus US, I believe. Or how much was it? $100 plus or $99 or so? You get a reader, but you can only get book directly. Okay, for convenience, you can buy book only on Amazon. Otherwise, you have to sideload it using USB. It's a USB drive. They limit the format you can use, Mobi, and one online format that they use. You cannot load EPUB. You need to convert it. Thankfully, somebody figured how to convert Mobi to Mobi file. It supports PDF, and in fact, it's better to use PDF because my experience is the formatting is bad. But and also they sell you advertisement, so it's not a product. It's not a complete product. It's not exactly lending because you do pay $99, but the whole reason they do that to you is that they try to sell you more books on it. That's how ebook reader. That's how the ebook reader market works. It's the same for Kobo, but Kobo, because they have wider market, they can't distribute as wide, so it's more expensive. And of course, until very recently, your ebook reader is actually it's very limited technical when it comes to technical capability. You only have touchscreen for past few years. Previously, you actually have to use button to actually navigate a book.
But
so there's
some
quite
people
limitation.
might say that the button is actually much better, which they actually put in their new Kindles. The Oasis, for example, has buttons.
Yeah. So, but technology-wise, e-ink reader is actually behind even the simplest technology. The not just capacitive. It's called the one that you had to click the old display on
Mm-hmm.
PDA. You know what those called? So
No, the
it's even
pressure
behind
one.
the it's even behind those simpler touchscreen display in the way that there's no touchscreen, limited color and whatnot. So it's not the most popular display format, right? Until very recently, what happened is I discovered that there's a few Chinese manufacturer. I have been a bit reluctant because uh, one, I do not know what's the what's the level of Android they support. So the interesting thing is this Chinese manufacturer that we share name later, they produce Android tablets running on e-ink screen, specialized for reading, which is actually pretty important because remember that as a for Kindle to buy books, you have to use Amazon store and whatnot. In reality, you actually have the Google Play Store sell books. I hope they still do because we need alternative. Kobo, you can buy books to read. The reader is hard to buy in Malaysia, but also a bit more expensive, but you can get it. You can buy the books. Then you have
There's Safari books
several ebooks.
online.
Yes, Safari. They actually give you books. All these are on EPUBs, PDF, and whatnot. Then pragmatic programmers have it. All those are not necessarily on Amazon, and there is some alternative bookstore reader you can buy. So with Android, with browser, you can actually buy books and download locally to read it. So as a platform-wise, it's more open for you to actually read from anything. And of course, there's also the Kindle app, which also allows you to actually buy book and read it online, which is a good thing. So this all these product for all these Android e-ink reader actually make it more interesting to read more books, and the pricing is not too bad. My concern was that the Android supported Android version is old. That's my only concern. But as I go along, they support newer and newer Android versions, so reasonably new Android version. So it's getting interesting as a market. So yeah, e-ink is very interesting now. More application, cheaper application, more availability, and because we are actually on sale on the Chinese market, say what you want about the China and the policy and whatnot. They're the manufacturer of the world and they have the technology to make things, and they deliver to here. So that's my love-hate relationship with China. And as a result, you actually get the ebook down here. So ebook reader. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped about the ebook market, to be honest.
So
Because finally we have a good.
Someone to show your
Yeah.
toy, new toy.
Wait.
Yeah, show
I'm
us.
to my O'Reilly, and then I'll show it in a bit. Sorry, let me just
Yep.
finish logging in. What you can do is,
So-
Sweepy, you can show your Kindle, like the refresh rate or all of these things, or what do you have there?
So I'm going to show some of the capability for the Kindle. What are e-ink? So notice that the angle of sharing is actually very wide, and under sunlight you can actually read
So what's
under
the
the
difference
sunlight
with this
and
and
whatnot.
the CD or LED?
The main one is that you can actually read a lot better under the sun. Okay, so remember, already covered power saving and that, but you can also, this is actually a bad camera to show this, but if you read it under the sun, you can read it. It's actually very good for outdoor reading. It's not as glaring because they have paper quality.
So
What happened with the LED is there actually have pixels that actually shine to you. This is actually this is more like paper. They're actually on a
so
surface, so it's
for
not
the
glaring.
pigment,
Go on.
instead of the light being broadcast to your eyes, in order for you to see it, then the light needs to be reflected into your eyes because it does not
Correct, correct,
emit light
correct.
itself, right? And I guess that
Yes, correct.
that's actually how paper works. It does not
Yes,
generate light or it does not emit light, but it
yes,
reflects light from somewhere else, and it becomes more natural as a human being to consume reading
yes.
material that way, I guess. Okay.
Correct. But it's not perfect. It's not a perfect technology. You need to understand that e-ink are not a replacement for your LCD screen.
Mm-hmm.
An e-ink reader is still slow. You can play
Yeah,
video nowadays, but don't bet
The
on it.
refresh rate is low,
It's
you
still black
mean?
and white.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's slower.
ridiculous. Don't bother
Yeah.
with
Ridiculous as
watching
in,
video. I mean, trying to watch
yeah,
video with
correct.
e-ink
You
screen is
can actually.
ridiculous. You can, but
You
it's
can.
ridiculous.
It can.
It's not that bad
Uh,
now. The technology is
it's
actually
not that
quite
bad
good.
now. Correct, correct. It's still slower than your LCD screen, but it's not that bad now. Traditionally, it's very bad. Now it's actually a lot better, but still don't bet on it yet. There's not the main. Maybe in the future, maybe e-ink will be the replacement for the screen. Not now. For now, color only comes out very recently. Speed only getting better recently. Near future, e-ink will be something of their own.
Mhm.
Ebook readers, labels, maybe even advertisement board, uh, possible, maybe possible, but it won't replace your LCD screen. As an entertainment device, that won't replace your tablet as well. So it's not. So it's their own thing now, lah.
Mhm.
But it's pretty cool actually. So even if it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
So as a technology and whatnot.
you want to see an old
So are
Kindle?
you ready?
Yeah, I can show like the
Yeah.
Kindle that I had from 2011, 2012. This is the Kindle keyboard. This is not
Yep.
touchscreen. You have buttons. So you'll see that it's actually they
Yep.
since that time they cover both left and right-handed people. You have
You didn't
this.
charge it.
No, the battery is actually dead. So that's the thing about
Okay.
e-ink, right? This has been dead for many years. I'm just trying to
Mm.
fix it, like get because the battery is dead. I just checked it and then I wanted to get this working. And I got this delivered to the Philippines because apparently nobody delivers Kindles to Malaysia, so I had to get it delivered in the Philippines and then bring it here. But you'll see that there's still like text here, right? And this is the default text when it runs out of battery and forces itself off, and it's still there and it's not gone because
Mhm.
that's just how the technology works. So this is the Kindle keyboard. For reference, this is the Galaxy Tab A. It's a 7-inch tablet. It's the same size as the tablet. So that's the thing. And what I got recently is this one. Is the let me close that again. So this the Onyx uh, Books Nova 2. It's an Android 9 e-ink tablet with so you'll see that I've installed a few applications. I've gone Amazon, O'Reilly, and what else?
Mhm.
Tachiomi, which is a
Mhm.
manga reader. So it's actually quite
Mhm.
good because you have so it's a 3-in-1 function. You have a reader, so primarily it's a reader. It's great for like its built-in reading application is great for ebooks because um, the
Mhm.
refresh is not that jarring, right? Unlike there's not a lot of
Mhm.
animations. The thing about e-ink is you don't want animations, so
Mhm.
the applications are designed for that. And then it's also a writing thing. So let me quickly show how it is. I don't know how. So you have a note, right? And then you can draw on this, and then you can have I don't know. Yeah, I can't draw in in the mirror. Anyway, so it's how do you call this? It's a
Because of
writing
you.
implement as well. What's the question? Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, Donaldson's asking. You're talking about e-readers.
Because
We
Donaldson is
are
being
talking about
obsessed with e-readers.
yes. So it's actually very good. And the third is like it's an Android device. It's a tablet, right? It's an Android tablet. The thing about being a tablet is that you have freedom of uh, installing applications. So you'll see that there I had an Amazon app there because you cannot really read your books bought from the Amazon's Kindle store outside of Amazon applications unless you do something, and so you'll have to do it on the Amazon app. So you can install that. You saw that I just logged into my O'Reilly account and confirmed that I can access my Safari books online. So that works too. You can read your books. You can get those things there. And the best manga reader so far that I've seen is Tachiyomi, and it's working as well. So it's working very well as an Android tablet and as a stylus and as an e-reader. But the thing is, if you're using it as a tablet, then you are going to pay for it through your power consumption because um,
Yep.
it's only a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. It's very, very light. It's a lot lighter than my tablet. My This is the A, Samsung Galaxy Tab A with S Pen. It's quite heavy, but this one is like very light and it's quite stylish as well. I like so apparently this pen and the S Pen share the same technology, so you can actually use this pen or the S Pen to write on each other. So that was quite surprising for me, but also quite a nice surprise. So it's so far I've been happy with this e-ink reader. Another thing that I really like about this, let me see, um, is if I go here, you'll see that you have um, two brightness buttons. So I will unlink them. Wait, how do I unlink them? Here. So there's actually like an orange and a blue slider. So you can slide this, and so now you're actually more blue. So this is more blue, or you can slide it the other way around, and it becomes more orange. So for example, if you want to be reading at night, you don't want any blue light, then you can do that. And what I just do is I just like sync them together, so it's a good mixture of blue and orange on the eyes when you're doing it. So yeah, I really like the tablet. It is a bit expensive though. It's almost the same cost as a Samsung Galaxy S6 Lite. The light, the processor of the Lite is probably a lot more powerful than this one, but the the thing that makes that makes this reader more expensive is the e-ink, because the e-ink really just is very
Yep.
power. If you're just reading, then it's very power efficient. You don't need to spend like energy like emitting all of those photons. It's just really the backlight, like a diffuse backlight, which is not that bad. If you have like very really good lighting in your room, then you don't even need the backlight. You just turn it off. Or if you're just going to draw something, then it's also not that bad. So I bought this mostly for reading books, and if you're going to use this for reading books, it's great. If you're going to use this as an alternative tablet, probably not. It's not going to be um, very useful. If you're going to use this for taking notes, it would be great. But if you're using this for drawing, also not, because it only has like 16 shades of gray. Um, it's not, how do you say, you don't get as many shades, just like when you do, for example, for a Galaxy S6 Lite or an iPad with pencil. It's not going to be the same experience for drawing. But for just taking notes, then it's really, really handy because um, the screen protector that I have right now, it came with the unit. It feels very much like paper. So when you're writing, it feels like you're writing on paper. It's so actually quite good. Yeah, that's this one. It's this one. This is the box. Books Nova 2. Bought it from the Kindle Malaysia people. Got their Kindle Unlimited thingy as well. It's not very good. Kindle Unlimited is not that nice. You only have indie stuff there, or like Harry Potter series, or all of the Dan Brown
Yeah.
stuff, which so not nothing that I would want to read. So it's not. I mean, it came free with the whole thing, but it's not something that I would pay for. Oh, this
Yeah.
is the
So the thing
app.
is,
Mhm.
despite the fact that the Kindle does work here, but the collection are not necessarily available to here as well. So, for
Yeah.
example, I'm trying to get the book, A Case of Alien. It's a sequel of the Spaceship Next Door. So it's available on Kindle, but it's not. I can't buy it here, despite the book available for almost three
Yeah. So
years.
you
But I
can't
can get
use
it, or I can actually get it on other shop.
Yeah, you can't
Yes.
use a Malaysian credit card. So the only way I was able to buy my Kindles and my stuff at Kindle, like books, is if I use my Philippine credit card. And so I'm not sure what's up with Malaysia
Yeah.
and Kindle or Amazon. Well, I mean, Amazon is fine. You can buy things. I got like SSDs delivered from Amazon
Yeah.
to Malaysia. It's just really the Kindle shop
Yeah.
that's a problem. I don't know if it's censorship or because they carry
Yeah.
books, so I'm not sure. But
Uh, I it's more likely. It's actually more likely that publisher have agreement.
mm,
Uh, so each country has different agreement on that. So I suspect that's the same reason. It's actually trade control between country, right? The same
mhm.
reason why uh, your Nintendo eShop is not available in Malaysia, but available everywhere else because the
Yeah, but you
local
can always
dealership have
change your
deals with
region,
local distributors.
and that
Like
sucks.
Netflix.
Yeah. But Amazon ebook, I suspect they strongly this is the case, but I don't have evidence for it because the Malaysian book market are not exactly big. But when we do buy, we buy a lot. So it's a lot of these are not necessarily censorship in a way that, put it this way, if there's real censorship around, 50 Shades of Grey would be banned from Malaysian bookshop,
Don't
right?
suggest them.
And that didn't happen because yeah,
Because
the because the process is shady, so they probably don't care. It's more likely that it's a trade, it's a agreement by publisher, which actually a bit very annoying. So, and that's the thing about ebook reader, right? If you go and tie to one shop, then one shop will have different agreement with different country for silly reason, and
Mhm.
that's my problem with Kindle. Uh, X is generally fine to try to
you
sell
want to
stuff. I know it's subsidized,
you want to
Oh,
see
not for
mine?
here, but
yeah, there was
yes,
this issue with Kindle like some time ago, and of all the books, I think it was 1984 by Orwell, where it accidentally got
yeah,
like pulled out, and suddenly the 1984 books on Kindles
yes,
was wiped off. Right, you can't access it anymore, even if you have downloaded
yes,
it as soon as you connect to Amazon. And
yes,
that's like one of the biggest things
yeah,
about DRM, that I you would think that you bought the book, but actually apparently you don't.
yeah.
The
You
Kindle.
don't own the book.
You just own a license to access it.
Yes.
Let me find that link. Yeah, so Amazon. So this is
So it's not rental.
2009. Amazon erases Orwell books from Kindle on
Yes.
2009. And it's interesting. It's even
Yes.
1984.
But what's the reason of that? Why do you?
Yes.
Apparently, it was a
Because
mistake.
okay, because Orwell isn't like the being
Yeah.
written just yesterday. It's been like pretty much everybody knows about it.
Yeah, so apparently,
Yeah. It's
it
a
was
popular book.
added to the Kindle store by a company that did not have rights to them. And so they just removed all of the 1984 books, even though it's not the one that, like, it was already like published before. So yeah, they were all deleted.
Yes.
Wow.
Correct. So this is why I'm really excited about the new ebooks reader and all that. Because ironically, they're from China, which is the most heaviest censorship country in the world, but it's an Android reader, which means I can install 3 different apps to read books, 4 different apps to read books. You can call it whatever you want, fragmentation or whatever, but you've got 4 different ways to read book from 3 different vendors. And if you count the legal one, right, you count the legal one. I would not talk about the illegal one, but or let's say you get some technical book from Humble Bundle.
You just remove from your library.
The
from
answer
what
is
happened.
no. That's the problem.
So
No,
it's part of
and
it's
it's a
part
very-
of the
and for
end user license agreement as well.
Yeah.
correct. And remember, so final one before I sidetrack for that. I'm going to sidetrack later. Microsoft actually had an ebook store and they closed it down, and they actually people will actually lose their book. So that's actually a big deal. I think it's already gone, but not as many people had book on the Microsoft ebook shop. So yeah, that's what happened with DRM on your phone, and which is why I want a more open platform than Kindle.
Same goes with
Ideally, we have.
I think some of the if you remember back in the days when we get our games from in the form of CD-ROM, and you need to and you need to actually put in the disk in order to bypass, like it's in a way a DRM from.
Or you need your
Yes.
user manual. Find the last word of paragraph 2 in page 56.
No, not that, but
No?
it's some sort of like a DRM installed. Like I forgot what some of the nasty one, but apparently some of the server they went down and people that owns the game. Yeah, I think it happened last year, but some people who try to install it, they can't get bypass the verification because the server is down. So yeah, that's
And
that's about it.
and not too long ago, 3 years back, when Adobe actually shut down their DRM product for ebooks, the server is down, and a lot of the book are now invalid, cannot be read.
Yeah.
So
Isn't this the same story for Steam, where you need the Steam client, and when they go down,
correct.
your stuff goes down as well, right?
It's just the hope is
Yes.
that they get too big to fail. So
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's like
That's
taking hostage, like taking everyone's products hostage, so that they become
Yes.
too large to fail, or
Yeah.
too big to fail. It's like
which is why you buy game on Steam on the cheap, not on the expensive.
you buy game on GOG. Cyberpunk is coming out. They are on GOG.
not
Buy
necessarily
it
because
on
I
Steam.
have I have like let's say I forgot the name of the developer, the from Tropical. You can still play it, but if you want to be online, you still need to install their own client to do it. So I actually got it on GOG. So it's not that GOG is completely DRM free.
Well, at least you can still play it
Sometimes it's the publisher fault.
extra, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you still have partial ownership of whatever
Yeah.
you bought. And
Yes.
it's so that's the
Yes.
thing with Kindle, especially on e-readers like this, like Onyx, for example, right? The books.
Yep.
The Amazon app, when you're looking at PDFs or like like Amazon books, sorry, not PDFs, but Amazon books, the Amazon app is not as optimized because they still have like animations, so you can't really turn that off inside the application. And so you have the book already, like it's very, very difficult to move that into a different format that can be read by a different application, like preferably the built-in e-reading application, just so that you can enjoy the book better. So it becomes a question of like, what exactly are you buying? And of course, the thing here is that Amazon is actually able to subsidize parts of the cost of the book because of the sales, because they know that
They want you to buy it.
yeah, it's a closed ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Like they can they can upsell you the audible book
Yes.
version, where like the listening version. They can upsell you like,
Yeah.
oh, these are your recommended stuff next in the series, or something like that, or like packages. Because you
Yes.
basically are stuck in the ecosystem since you can't consume your products outside of the Amazon ecosystem. So that becomes a problem.
Yes. In fact, actually, it's a very easy thing. Just force another shop on the e-reader, but I'm crazy. Ignore me.
Mhm.
So because I need more choice lah. Also, so which is why you don't actually support only one OS, one vendor, one. Yes, I know a lot of people like Apple, but come on, come on.
So
Companies are not
John
your friend. Their tools,
Slack
they're not friend.
talking about this e-reader called Remarkable.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
Feels like paper. I
Yeah.
saw some reviews when I was researching the books. Apparently, uh, well, Remarkable is great at writing, and it's really great at writing, but that's basically it.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. It feels like
Yes.
paper, but it costs the same as
Mhm.
this thing as this.
Yeah.
It's larger though, it's 10 inches, but
Mhm.
that's um that's that's its claim to fame, right? If
Yeah.
you really want to write
Mhm.
stuff, then I guess you get that. But for me, I'd like a well-rounded device. I like to read, I like to write, and
Mhm.
sometimes I'd like to go and get like
What?
Amazon stuff, like Kindle stuff, or like O'Reilly stuff. Check out some documents there, notate things
Mhm.
on the PDF. So that's why I got this. I feel that the Remarkable one is too niche for me. Like it's too specialized for my taste.
Yeah. Yes.
Donaldson was saying, if the book is pulled, are you
So
compensating?
No. Yeah, that's what we
I
talk
don't
about just
know.
now.
I don't think so.
Mm.
no,
I think
Because
it is like,
you
no.
agreed to it. It's part of the service agreement.
well,
Yes.
on the other hand, though, if the book has updates, then you're also not charged for extra. Like I sometimes on my Kindle library, they'd say, "Oh, an update is available," and then you just like re-download the thing on your and replaces the update on your Kindle device, right? So they don't charge it. Of course, you don't know for sure what is the update. Maybe it's like censored stuff or like Star Wars thing where Han Solo didn't shoot first or something like that. I
Spoilers
think that
alert.
change
Solo
whatever
shoot
you think.
first.
So you don't know, but hopefully it's an actual update on the content. But if it is an update on the content, then they don't charge you for that. On the other hand, if it is pulled, most likely they don't compensate you for that because they find out, oh, you've actually been selling illegal things or something that, and no, you were not supposed to be um, getting this or something. Yeah. Chilion, do you have any e-ink
Uh,
devices?
Yeah, I have one. I just got
What do
it
you
and
have?
get it charged. I have something that looks similar to yours.
What is that?
It's a light book uses.
Lightbook.
Yeah, it's horrible to buy it. It got some light bleed issue, but it's actually I use it mainly for note taking, so there's like
Mhm.
stuff that I scribble. But it's been a while since I actually put it up. So right now I'm charging it. You guys
Mm.
reminded me that there's a e-ink device lying around. So.
I tried writing. So I bought an iPad Pro, the first version, with the pencil, and writing on glass doesn't feel very good, especially
the
the pen.
it's
Plastic,
a
hard
it's a
plastic on glass is not good.
if they support the Wacom standards, you're gonna support like the pressure and the eraser. All these things are pretty nice. The this thing, despite its flaws, is actually the experience to write is actually pretty well.
Yeah.
There's a
So the thing again thing about open stuff, or like these well well known technologies, because Apple did their own technology with a pencil, right? They wanted to own the ecosystem, and so
yeah.
you're basically stuck with like hard plastic on glass because that's the only stylus that you can buy, aside from
Yes.
the crayon thing. So in order for you to create a stylus for the Apple ecosystem, you have to ask permission from Apple because you have to license the technology. And if Apple says no, then you can't do anything about
Yeah.
it. And basically, what Apple did was the only way
I
you
think
can make a
it's
stylus is to make it so horribly designed, like the crayon, which is like for like huge and
I
like
think they don't have
ugly.
the interest to work well with other people. That's
Yeah.
my actually complaint. Like
Yeah.
at least like in this case, like they can license the technology from Wacom and apply it.
Hmm.
And this pen I actually have old Wacom tablets, and this pen is actually compatible with the Wacom one. Same with
Yeah.
the tip.
Most likely, it's
Yeah.
compatible with this one as well.
Mm.
And thing about this pen, so you can actually have an eraser. You can actually erase it at the
Yeah.
back. You can draw on it, and then you can erase it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of these things that just because it's a well-known standard that everyone benefits from, and then now you have like a walled garden. Um,
Mhm.
Speaking of old gardens like Kindle, for example, or like their format, the AZW3 format or KF8 format
I
or
think, but
whatever.
I think when
Mhm.
you're big enough, you can afford to like
Mm,
be isolated, but it's actually doesn't benefit
Yeah.
the consumer.
yeah. Well, that is the
Yes.
problem of monopolies, right? If you have a monopoly, then you have a
Yeah.
problem of efficient distribution of resources.
But my
Yes.
the way I use the e-ink is actually the tablet is actually powered by Android as well, but
Mhm.
I don't run any Android app with
Mm.
this because I find like the experience is
So,
horrible. So
Yeah, if
it got a
it's
so
it got a pretty decent refresh rate, but I just prefer the native experience of reading ebooks. And I don't bother with a PDF because PDF is horrible as well. Yeah, the way how
really, it
PDF
works
works,
for pretty well though.
how it works, how PDF works on my tablet is like image. It doesn't work like a text layout.
Ah, okay.
So
well, that's generally how you would
mm,
display PDF because it
yeah,
needs to be relative size to everything.
yeah.
Like basic
So
PDF
you
is
cannot,
basically paper
yeah, yeah.
for that's how
and
Adobe
and
designed
the
it.
experience and everything is much. I mean, it's much worse than EPUB itself.
Yeah, because you can't reflow, you can't
Yeah,
set like fonts and then just like
yeah.
render fonts that's already in memory. You basically have to render the whole image. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I guess the advantage of this one is because it has 3 gigs of memory. So of the books has 3 gigs of memory, and so you generally can render PDFs quite well. So the bottleneck is the
Mhm.
e-ink refresh rate and not the actual rendering performance.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that those are our toys. I have a lot more Kindles. So I
Yeah.
actually have a lot of like these that like old Kindles that I have, but I'm going to show, but I'm not going to show them anymore. Some of them don't work.
Yes.
But that's it for
So
Final.
the e-ink
so your
toys.
e-ink, your e-ink now
Yeah.
become e-waste from
I don't
e-ink to
know.
Yes.
e-waste.
I want to, at least for the Kindles, I want to see if they're still working. Like this one, for example, the button is not working, but if you can, the touchscreen is still working, right? So, this is the Kindle, the first generation Kindle Touch. This is the first generation Kindle White. The buttons are
How
working, but the touchscreen is not
last?
working. So,
How
and
long those
this
things
one,
last?
the keyboard is just not working at all. Sorry, what?
What's the average lifetime of your
Uh, well, this paper white that I was using was bought in 2014. So 6 years after, still working. This one is just really the button. I think this was 2013 or 2012. So if the button was fine, I mean, I can force it because um, I can plug a USB that's connected to a computer and force it to say, uh, like what do you want to do, and then basically the screensaver is gone, and then now I can access it again until it turns itself on standby. So they are still usable. They're not yet e-waste, and I'm still trying to see if I can fix them. The only e-ink that I actually threw away was the Barnes and Noble Nook. That was running an Android back in 2013, and it was horrible. And I just said, no, this is not going to be. This is not like worth my time. I just
I think that time was still pretty early
yeah.
for its
Mhm.
time. So I think the Android tablet nowadays are much more
Yeah.
better.
That those were the times when you say Android, it's budget. Like they're just going to give you all
Yeah.
budget stuff. Like the like
With
you
the
can't
horrible
find
UI.
yeah you can't find well you it's the materials you can't find like a flagship level Android device that time until the Samsung Galaxy S series came around. Then it's everything was like really slow, and now at least because Google got their Pixels and all of these quite good devices, then it became like Android became a competitor. But back in
Yeah.
2013, yeah,
Price
things were
wise.
really bad.
So are we
Mhm.
good? Is there any questions from the audience, or we're supposed to wrap it up?
Where to where to where to get the e-reader service? The short answer is I do not know.
I don't know. You're gonna be
So
e-waste.
the reason why I bought from Books Malaysia is because instead of ordering from Onyx International is because of the warranty. Uh, because
Mhm,
they say they are going to
mhm.
uh, do the warranty for me, right? Like they're basically my service provider, and I didn't want to
Okay.
send my device to Onyx International for repairs. So I wanted to get like something closer, and of course you have to pay extra for that. Like
Okay.
the device is more expensive than if you purchase directly from the manufacturer, but that is the thing that you want to cover yourself and you have to pay extra for that. So
Yeah.
for example in the Philippines, so this Kindle keyboard is actually the second Kindle keyboard. My first Kindle keyboard had the screen like lines or those things, and all they did was send me like this cardboard box thing. I put it inside, send it back, and then they sent me a new one. So they Amazon at least at that time, 2011, they were quite good with warranties.
Mhm.
But then again, that's the Philippines. I didn't know if that time was also blocked in Malaysia. I guess that was blocked in Malaysia. That's why I ordered it in the Philippines. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
you
still not
could
officially
do something
available
like
here.
that. You could do. I think if it broke down while I was in Malaysia, then I would have had to request for the warranty in the Philippines and then get it like sorted out there.
Yep.
At least we have a Singapore now.
I think that's the more important question.
So
I
Okay.
any
think that's the only
yeah
question we have. So shall we say goodbye?
yeah.
Yes, let us say goodbye and see you next week. If you have any
Yeah,
suggestions for
I will
topics,
share.
Yeah.
then just
Or you
let
Yeah.
want
us know in the
or
comments.
you want to come up here to talk?
Yes. Yes. I do not know. We figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
We
figure
don't
out.
have guests.
That's our usual closing remarks. We'll figure it out. All right, bye
Yeah.
folks.
So otherwise, I think I'm going to sleep now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Go offline. Go offline. Go offline. Go offline.